Hi.
Hello.
Good to be with you again.
For our daily reflection for May the 26th from the YouVersion Bible app. Verse of the day.
And I'm reading it today.
Yeah.
It's from Psalm 119 verse 2. Blessed are those who keep his statutes and seek him with all their heart. Well, first thing, what are statutes?
Statutes. I think we have them in our own law, don't we? Statutes.
Oh, they don't sit in the garden, do they?
No. That's silly.
Yeah, they're sort of like laws or agreements or the way we're going to operate together. And it says, blessed are those who keep his statutes and to seek him, that is God, with all their heart. Something I think we've endeavoured or tried to do through our lives, Jenny.
Definitely.
So how would you say God's blessed us?
Well, we're living in we're fit and healthy, and we've got somewhere to live that's warm in winter, and we've got a lovely family and
a nice view that we can look out on.
And we
would you say we're blessed?
I would say we're blessed.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean it's all been easy.
Oh, definitely not easy. No.
Sometimes I think when people think blessed, they mean, life will go honky-dory and there won't be any difficulties and we'll all be happy ever after type of thing. But I don't think that's what it means by blessed.
No.
So what does it mean by blessed?
Well, is it talking about even if things are going difficult, if you've got a difficult life, you still know that God is with you in those, and so there's a sense of peace and
there's something
hope.
Extra about life. Hope, peace, whatever it is, that in the midst of all that, life does come together for us. Like, would you say Jesus was blessed? And you'd have to say yes.
Yes.
He lived a very blessed life. Yet, it was far from easy. God watched over him, cared for him, and I think that gives us a little bit of a mystery into the way in which God expects us to live in the world. Sometimes we think, again, as we talked about yesterday, in our consumer, individualistic society, it's all about me and things going right for me, and that's how we interpret blessed. Yeah. Where I don't think that's what this is the writer of the psalm.
No, because if you think about material things, actually, Jesus didn't have, during his ministry, didn't really have a home. He didn't have a bed. He didn't have any more than one set of clothes, as far as we understand. And yet, he did have a whole lot of friends around him. Life was very rich. He had people with him who obviously, it seems like there were some women who had funds, who walked around with them and actually provided food for him and his disciples. So there was always something going on that meant that relationally he was very rich in what was happening, even though you could say he was a man in abject poverty. He didn't see it that way at all.
Oh no, and he actually did reasonably well with those who looked after him, it seems.
That's true.
But then also he faced death and resurrection, and so the resurrection was the vindication and the blessedness of God, not the death and not the humiliation, not the crucifixion.
Which has happened so often with people. You don't see the results and the huge fruit of their labour until after they die, which is so sad.
That's right.
That's a difficult thing.
And yet also there is a sense in which in the midst of our lives now, we go through difficult times, we go through struggles, we go through pain, we go through suffering, and God gives us glimpses of the fullness of that blessing. We do enjoy some of it now. That's what we were saying before, where we live, our family. There are so many ways in which God has blessed us and gives us an insight of what is still to come and what he's promised for us. And so I think we could affirm, blessed are those who keep his statutes, who seek him with all their heart. Certainly has been our intention. And we look back on our lives and say thank you to God for that. There is an attitude of gratitude that goes with that, a recognition that life is a gift that we have received, and even though it's not all we would like it to be all the time, it is still a gift that God saves us through all that we live through, and that's the blessing for us all. That is a blessing. Yeah,
it is. And I mean, it's still not easy because we're not with our family all the time. We've got kids who live overseas, and in other places, and yet here we are enjoying the blessing of God.
Yeah. So I trust you find and know God's blessing for your life in its entirety, but also this coming week.